My young friends, I want to speak to you tonight not about the past, not about the troubles that surround us, but about something far greater. About the hope that lives in your hearts, about the dreams that rise in your minds, and about the future that you alone have the power to shape. I stand before you with the simple belief that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, and no matter what obstacles stand in your way, you were born with a purpose, and within you lies the strength to dream big and to make those dreams real. I have seen across the years how young people so often underestimate their own power. You might look at the world and see its problems, see the divisions, the hardships, the fears, and you may wonder if one person can make any difference at all. But I am here to remind you as firmly as I can that every great movement, every great idea, every great change in history has been carried forward not by those who doubted, but by those who dreamed. It is the dreamers who stand on the shoulders of courage and say, "Why not? Why not me? Why not now?" There was a time when America itself was just a dream, born in the minds of young men and women who refused to believe that the future had to be chained to the past. They had little, they were outnumbered, but they carried inside them a fire that no army could extinguish. That same fire lives in you. It lives in every young heart that dares to hope, that dares to believe in something better. And so I tell you tonight, never be afraid of dreaming too big. The only tragedy is not to dream at all. Some may say that dreaming is foolish, that the world is too harsh, too demanding, too unforgiving for such idealism. But I say that history belongs to the idealists, for they are the ones who lift us higher, who make us see not just what is, but what can be. It was a dreamer who carved steel and stone into skyscrapers that touched the sky. It was a dreamer who imagined that a man could fly, and from that dream came the airplane. It was a dreamer who looked at the stars and refused to see them as unreachable, and because of that we walked on the moon. Every great step humanity has ever taken began with a dreamer, and tonight I tell you the next great steps depend on you. Now, dreams alone are not enough. If dreams are the seed, then discipline is the soil, courage is the sunlight, and perseverance is the water that makes them grow. You may dream of building, of creating, of leading, but without the courage to stand up after failure, without the strength to rise when the world pushes you down, those dreams will remain just shadows. And so I urge you, let your dreams be bold, but let your resolve be even bolder. The world will test you, life will challenge you, and sometimes you will stumble. But remember this, stumbling is not the same as falling, and falling is not the same as failing. True failure only comes when you refuse to rise again. I think of the young student who studies late into the night because she believes she can become the doctor who heals. I think of the young man who refuses to let poverty define him, who works with his hands, who builds with his sweat, who says, "I will give my children a better tomorrow." These are not just individuals, these are living examples of the American dream, alive and strong, and they remind us that greatness is never handed down. It is built, it is earned, it is fought for every single day. So to the young people listening, I say this: do not measure yourself by the doubts of others. Do not measure yourself by the failures of yesterday. Measure yourself by the size of your dreams and by the courage with which you chase them. If you dream of painting, then paint. If you dream of leading, then prepare yourself to lead. If you dream of inventing, then build. And if you dream of serving, then give yourself fully to that cause. Whatever your dream, hold on to it tightly, because dreams are the currency of the future, and without them we are poor indeed. Now, I know the world you inherit is not simple. It is filled with challenges, economic struggles, conflicts abroad, and divisions at home. But let me tell you this, every generation has faced its share of troubles. The measure of a people is not found in the absence of hardship, but in the way they rise to meet it. And I have no doubt whatsoever, that you will rise higher than any who came before you. Why? Because you have more knowledge, more opportunity, and more tools than any generation in history. The question is not whether you can dream big, but whether you will have the courage to follow through. I want you to remember something. Opportunity is not a gift that drops into your lap. It is a door that opens only when you have the courage to knock. And when that door opens, you must be ready to step through it with confidence. Do not wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time never comes. Do not wait for the perfect plan, because plans change. What matters is that you begin. Begin with what you have, where you are, and trust that as you walk forward, the path will grow clearer. Let us think of the pioneers who crossed mountains and rivers, who left behind the comfort of the known to find a better tomorrow. They had no guarantee of success, no assurance of safety, yet they pressed on. They pressed on because they believed in something bigger than themselves. That same pioneering spirit is what you must carry. You may not be called to cross mountains, but you will be called to cross obstacles, fear, doubt, criticism, and sometimes even failure. But just as those pioneers reached their destination because they never gave up, so too can you achieve your dream if you keep pressing on. And let me remind you of this: you are not alone. For every young dreamer, there are countless others walking beside you, each carrying their own vision, their own hope. Together you form the heartbeat of the future. Together you will shape a nation, and together you will shape a world. Never underestimate the power of your generation, for when the young unite behind a common purpose, mountains move, walls fall, and history changes. So tonight I call on you not simply to dream, but to dream boldly. Dream not only for yourself, but for others. Dream of a world where freedom is stronger, where justice is fairer, where compassion is deeper, and where every child, no matter their circumstance, has the chance to rise. And then, once you have dreamed it, commit yourself to building it, because the world is waiting, the future is waiting, and you are the answer it is waiting for. My young friends, there will always be voices that tell you to play it safe, to keep your head down, to not reach too high. They will say the world is too complicated, that your dream is too impossible, that you are too young or too inexperienced. And I want you to hear me when I say this: do not listen to those voices. History has never been made by those who settled for less, but by those who reached for more. Every step of progress, every victory for freedom, every triumph of human spirit has come from those who dared to challenge the voices of doubt. You must remember that greatness is rarely born in comfort, but often in challenge. It is in the fire of adversity that character is forged, and it is in the moments of difficulty that you will find the strength you never knew you had. I remember stories of young people throughout our history who refused to give up. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. Each failure could have been the end of his dream, but he believed that failure was simply a step towards success. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the spirit you must carry. When others see failure, you must see lessons. When others see obstacles, you must see opportunities. When others see the end, you must see the beginning. You are part of a generation with possibilities that even your parents could scarcely imagine. You carry in your pocket a device that can connect you to every corner of the world, a tool that can teach you anything you want to know, a voice that can be heard by millions. But with such tools comes responsibility. Technology is a bridge, but dreams are the destination. Do not use the tools of your age only for entertainment or distraction. Use them to learn, to create, to connect, and to build. Use them to raise your voice for justice, to share your vision with others, and to find the strength to move your ideas from thought into reality. There is an old saying that the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Preparation is not just about study or practice, though those are important. Preparation is also about building the right heart, the right spirit, the right mindset. It is about teaching yourself to persevere when things get tough, to remain honest when dishonesty seems easier, and to be kind when the world around you grows cold. These are the qualities that prepare you for greatness, and they are as important as any diploma, any certificate, or any degree you may earn. You see, dreams are not meant only for those who are already powerful or privileged. They are meant for all people, in every circumstance. I have met young men and women who were raised in poverty, who grew up in neighborhoods where hope seemed absent, yet they carried inside them a vision of a better life. And because they refused to surrender that vision, they changed not only their lives but the lives of those around them. And I have met others who seemed to have everything: wealth, opportunity, education. Yet because they lacked a dream, they drifted lost and uncertain. The truth is that the power of a dream does not lie in where you begin, but in where you are willing to go. When I was a boy, I remember being told stories of Abraham Lincoln. He was born in a log cabin, raised in poverty, taught himself to read by the light of a fire, and worked tirelessly to educate himself. He had no advantages, no powerful connections, yet he carried within him a dream that America could live up to its highest ideals. And that dream carried him from the log cabin to the White House. Lincoln's story is not just history. It is a lesson for you. It says that no matter where you begin, no matter how hard your road, if you believe in your dream and work with unshakable determination, you can change the world. Now you may ask yourself, what is my dream? What is it that I am meant to do? And that is a question only you can answer. No teacher, no parent, no friend, not even your president can decide your purpose for you. That purpose is written deep within you, and it reveals itself when you listen closely to the passions of your heart. What excites you? What stirs your soul? What do you find yourself thinking about late at night when the world is quiet? The answers to those questions will guide you toward your dream. And once you find it, hold on to it, nurture it, and do not let the doubts of the world shake it from your grasp. There is a temptation in youth to compare yourself with others, to measure your progress against your classmates, your peers, or the people you see on television. But hear me well, comparison is the thief of joy. Your journey is yours alone. Do not waste time wishing you had someone else's gifts, someone else's opportunities, or someone else's path. Instead, give thanks for what you have been given and commit yourself to using it to the fullest. For what matters is not the size of your opportunity, but the size of your determination. History will not remember those who had the most advantages, but those who made the most of what they had. And let me share another truth with you. Dreaming big is not about selfish ambition, it is about service. The greatest dreams are those that lift not only ourselves but others. If your dream is only for your own comfort, it will leave you empty even if you achieve it. But if your dream serves others, if it builds, heals, uplifts, and inspires, then it will live on long after you are gone. Ask yourself not only what you want to be, but what kind of difference you want to make. The measure of your life will not be found in the size of your house or the size of your paycheck, but in the size of the lives you touched and the good you left behind. Yes, it is important to aim high, to build a successful career, to provide for yourself and your family. But remember, true success is not only what you achieve, but what you contribute. Think of the teachers who ignite young minds, the doctors who save lives, the artists who stir hearts, the leaders who inspire hope. Their greatness is not found in what they gained for themselves, but in what they gave to the world. So as you dream not only of what you will achieve, but of how your achievement will serve others. You may say to yourself, "But I am just one person. How can I possibly change the world?" And to that I reply, every great change in history has always begun with one person. One man named Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed of justice and marched forward with nothing but conviction. One woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat and changed the course of a nation. One young girl named Anne Frank, even in the darkest of times, gave the world words that continue to inspire millions. Never underestimate the power of one person with a dream, for often that is all it takes to light a fire that spreads across the world. The path will not be easy. There will be times when you feel overwhelmed, when the weight of the world presses down on your shoulders, when doubt whispers that you are not strong enough, smart enough, or brave enough. But I tell you this, you are stronger than you think, smarter than you realize, and braver than you know. Within you lies the same spirit that carried explorers across oceans, that carried astronauts to the stars, that carried generations through wars and depressions and struggles of every kind. That spirit is alive in you, and it will not fail you if you refuse to give up. And so, when you wake each morning, do not ask yourself if your dream is possible. Ask yourself what you will do today to bring it closer to reality. Small steps become great journeys. A single brick becomes a tower. A single act of courage becomes a legacy. Do not wait for permission to chase your dream. Do not wait for certainty. Begin today and let your courage carry you the rest of the way.